All right, welcome back everyone to Zeke1 Plays. So glad that you could join me once again today. Today we're talking another how to use Pokemon strategy guide. Today we're talking about an incredible Pokemon from the new series of Pokemon that came out in Generation 9, and that is Kilowattrel. I managed to find me a shiny one early on in my playthrough, and I've used it extensively, and I'm actually getting ready to use it on a VGC team. But let's get into how can you best use Kilowattrel.
Bum, bum, bum.
Zeke1 Plays. As I do on all these videos, I want to highlight PokemonShowdown.com. Go there if you want to learn how to play competitive Pokemon. It's a great way to kind of do a crash course and do some simulation. Then you can begin to build your teams in the game and actually play in the game client. And so Pokemon Showdown, an amazing tool. But let's look at Kilowattrel. Its stat spread is incredible. Now, when I first saw this thing as it was being leaked, kind of in the leak season of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out, I immediately knew this thing was going to be powerful for a couple of reasons. The first reason being 125 base speed is nothing to joke about. I mean, that outspeeds Greninja. It outspeeds the new grass starter, Meowscarada. It outspeeds so many things that it can't not have any usage, right? Because any moves that you're going to have are going to hit first or are going to come out first, like Tailwind in doubles, an incredible utility move. As a bird Pokemon, it's probably going to get Tailwind, right? And so I knew this was going to be a special Pokemon. Looking back in history, there was a Pokemon called Swellow that came out in Generation 3. This thing looked comparable to Swellow, but just kind of better in every way. A better typing, better stat spread. Yes, it has slightly less on its offensive stat, but it's faster, right? And so just an incredible Pokemon overall, and I've really enjoyed looking at Kilowattrel. Another thing that makes Kilowattrel especially good are its typing. And so let's go create a new team on an Anything Goes team. This is just pulling things from any generation, pretty much at all. So Anything Goes, we're going to look up electric type Pokemon as well as flying type Pokemon. And you're going to see already, these are some pretty powerful Pokemon. All right, so on this list of electric flyers, you have Kilowattrel, Oricorio, you have Rotom, and Wattrel, of course, right? These are all newer Pokemon. Oricorio, I think that's the best form of it, is the electric form. But as we scroll down here, you'll see Thundurus, Therian, and Zapdos. All three incredible Pokemon that have been on championship teams, right? And then you have Emolga. Emolga, a Pokemon that is pretty much held back by its stat distribution, but also has quite an incredible typing and could have been a much more powerful Pokemon had it been given a stat distribution that is a little more usable. You see, it's pretty much subpar in every stat except for speed. So here, now we have Kilowattrel, who is not subpar in every stat total, actually getting a massive speed stat, but an incredible special attack stat to go along with that. And so, with that being said, this is the EV spread that we're pretty much going to run on any set. Max out the speed, max out the special attack, use a focus sash a lot of the time so that you can at least take one hit, and you're going to be doing massive amounts of damage very quickly. All right, so jumping into my game, here's my Kilowattrel that I've trained up for VGC. So this would be what I would say a decent set for your doubles team. If you're looking for a doubles set for Kilowattrel, here it is. Focus Sash is the item so that it allows it to take one hit and return some massive damage. And then in terms of the moveset that I went with, Tailwind, Thunderbolt, Protect are pretty much no-brainers. I think they need to be on the Pokemon. But Terra Blast is my personal spice. A lot of people would run Air Slash instead, just for the sake of always having an option to click. Terra Blast, of course, requires you to terrestrialize. But I really needed fairy coverage on the team that I was building, and so that is why I went with the Terra Fairy typing, right? Also, of course, you're going to have the timid nature to max out that speed stat so that you're able to outspeed pretty much everything in the format, right? As far as the ability goes, a lot of people, pretty much you can't go wrong with one of these abilities. A lot of people are running the Wind Power ability, I believe is what it's called. When Tailwind is up, you get a charge boost, which is going to massively increase your electric power that's coming out. Also, Volt Absorb is a great option as well. Switching into predictions where you predict an electric type move can pretty much swing the game in your favor if you're able to negate the damage and maybe even recover health. I chose to go with competitive because in doubles, you do see the intimidate ability quite often. And so I went with competitive because if I manage a competitive boost, that is a far higher boost than even the charging from the tailwind. And so the tailwind may be more consistent, but getting a competitive boost could be game over for my opponents in certain situations, especially looking at that fairy type coverage, thinking that they can switch into a Thunderbolt, maybe with Garchomp, and I hit it with a Terra Blast. That could incredibly change the dynamic of the game. And so really, really excited about using this Kilowattrel in doubles. But probably what you came for is how do you use Kilowattrel in singles? And so today I do have a set for you. And this is a UU team, and so it's taken advantage of a lot of Pokemon that are not the highest in the meta, like OU or Ubers, but that have a great strategy all their own. And so we put Kilowattrel on a rain team. That's why I'm running Thunder and Hurricane. Obviously, the power of these moves is high, but the accuracy is low. In the rain, however, both of these moves have 100% accuracy, which is why we're running that. Choice Specs is going to allow Kilowattrel to just zap through some opposing Pokemon. What about Weather Ball? Well, in the rain, it turns into a water move, and it's got 100 base power in the rain. And by having the Terra Water, we're going to absorb some of the attacks that would be coming our way that would hurt us, right? But also, we're going to be able to have Stab on that Weather Ball in return. In singles, I chose to use Volt Absorb, and the reason is because you have a lot more of an opportunity to switch into stuff in singles than in doubles. And also, Intimidate is not as popular in singles, and so competitive is not as big of a deal. Although, and Kilowattrel does not proc Sticky Webs, which is another easy way to get that competitive boost, and so that's not going to work for me either. Wind Power means I basically need to run Tailwind, and so I didn't want to have that in my moveset, so Volt Absorb was the option, but I do think it is the best option. So really quickly looking at the rest of the team, General Rain stuff, Heavy Dudes, Pelipper, Choice Band, Floatzel, Bisharp because the rain weakens fire moves against him, right? Mouse Hole just for a threat that's kind of all its own. You can encore stuff so you can go into one of your threats and sweep that way. Gastrodon for reverse sweeps, people using water against me because I've set up the rain. This allows me to absorb water hits. So let's get into a game with Kilowattrel and I'll show you just how powerful this thing can be. Here we are, game one. Looks like an Eviolite Primeape, and he forfeits. Didn't want the power of the rain team, I guess. All right, into the true game one here. We have Iron Thorns. We have the Earth Eater Orthworm himself. We have Magnezone. I don't have any steel types he can trap except for Bisharp, but he can Terra to get out of there. Let's see. We have Brambleghast. Pretty scary looking team, all things considered. Now, we need to have a way to deal with this Noivern because he's going to hit extremely hard if I'm not careful. I think we want to lead Pelipper to get the rain up, and then probably U-turn right away. So let's see how this works. Noivern is the lead. I can survive one move, I believe, from Noivern. However, yeah, Noivern is very threatening. I do think that Kilowattrel outspeeds, though. So if I can get into my Kilowattrel, I should be looking a whole lot better. Now, he used Tailwind, which is going to make it difficult on me. Yeah. I'm not sure what to do now. Floatzel probably doesn't live a hit. I think we're going to go Bisharp and try to fish for a Sucker Punch here. He goes Orthworm. Not bad. And he's wasting his Tailwind a little bit here. So just in case he goes Ground-type move, I'm going to go Kilowattrel. Although he could go Body Press as well. But Body Press is not a big deal because I resist it. And I'm not Focus Sash, so it's not breaking my Sash or anything like that. Okay, and now I'm going to just fire off a Thunder and see what happens. And that one-shots the Orthworm. I'm telling you guys, Choice Specs Kilowattrel is not a joke. It's incredibly strong. And as you can see now, the rest of his team, obviously this resists me, right? But the rest of his team is slower than I am. Even the incredibly fast Noivern. is very slow compared to my Pokemon. So we're going to switch here into, Float Soul, but then the rain would be done, so I wouldn't get the rain boost on that Wave Crash, which would almost definitely knock out. So we're going to go Gastro, and I know I'm going to take a hit here, but an Earth Power threatens to one-shot him, and I do not think that he's able to one-shot me in return. So we're going to try to Earth Power here, although he could go Noivern as well. So I think I'm going to try to get up. I don't know what to do here. He could very well Terrastalize as well. But we're going to go Stealth Rock just to see what's going to happen here. He Bug-type Terrastalize and Pin Missiles. That does a lot of damage, but he's not going to knock me out, and I'm going to get Stealth Rock off. He must have loaded dice there. I'm imagining that's what's going on here. So, yeah, Pin Missile. Do we give up my Kilowattrel? My Gastrodon? I think we do. We're gonna Muddy Water this time. I mean, if he wants to max, I've got Aqua Jet. I've got some ways of dealing with him. We're just gonna have to see how it works. And he keeps Dragon Dancing on me. Very interesting. Because now I think I'm going to be able to Sucker Punch him down if that's what he wants to do. So I'm going to just threaten that because I don't see another option here. And I'm going to hold up my Terrastalization because I don't necessarily want to use that yet. Although I'm not sure how much that does. We just Sucker Punch. Okay, he does back out. Hey, that's okay with me, honestly. Now he has me pulled in, so I'm going to Swords Dance and then Brick Break and see what we can do here. He's going to be able to knock me out here if he wants to by holding me in and using some special moves against me, but he goes into Toedscruel. This thing is not super defensive unless he has like full investment, right? And so that's what we're kind of worried about here. He's probably going to Earth Power, and I don't think I live that. I believe Ironhead is resisted here. Earth Power or a Grass move, Pelipper eats up. I think I keep my Bisharp alive. And he Spores. That was his answer for the... Actually, why am I doing that? Why don't I just go straight into Float Soul and threaten with the Ice Spinner? Yeah, that's what we do here. And I am banded, and so I'm going for... He doesn't have any switch into a water move, so we're just going to go for the water move. I could go Ice Spinner to knock out this thing, but he's almost definitely going to switch. So we're going to just Wave Crash. And that does knock out anyway, so that's okay. Honestly, he doesn't have a whole lot of switch-ins to this thing. Even Bramblegast is going to take a huge chunk, and I would gladly get that damage on probably Choice Scarf or Choice Banded Bramblegast versus just letting him come in later and sweep me. Again, this too, unless... No, even Scarf I outspeed, so I think I just, Wave Crash and knock him out. I don't get that play because, even this is going to go down. He's just letting me have his team, which I don't really understand, but it is what it is. Maybe he was trying to outlast the rain. Even now, if he goes for Tailwind, I get a good amount of damage back up on him. I think we go for Pelipper. Yeah, he did Tailwind. And I'm going to Ice Beam, just on the off chance that I wake up. And we do not wake up. But let's go ahead and Ice Beam again. Actually, let's keep Pelipper alive just for the fact of rain. So if he's going to try to... Let's go Kilowattrel here. Because we outspeed and we can pretty much eat up any hit. Yeah, good. That was a good point. All right, so we're going to Hurricane here because there's no reason not to, and I think we just win now with Kilowattrel because there's no way that he can live this. Choice Specs. He outspeeded me. Okay, with the Tailwind, of course. Yeah. And his Tailwind's up now, but I only have 1 turn of rain left. So he either goes down here or he gives me his Bramblegast, and he goes down, which is good. Let's go get the rain up one more time with Pelipper, and then I think Bramblegast just loses to Kilowattrel. I could go for the blank Hurricane. Do I? Yeah, I have another way to beat him with any of these Pokemon, really, but Floatzel, Ice Spinner can do it. So let's go for the blank Hurricane, and it does hit. Oh, I forget that he's immune to those. Oh my gosh. All right, that was totally a whiff on my part. I forget that he's immune to wind moves. It's all right, though. Now we got to see. I know I don't outspeed with this thing. But yeah, let's Ice Beam anyway. And he's going to try to outspeed now my Floatzel. But I think he still goes down to Bisharp. So we're going to see how that works. Let's see if he does outspeed. He may not. I think I might be faster. He may have Shadow Sneak, though. That's a good point. Ice Spinner does knock him out. And good game to my opponent there. You guys got to see the power of Kilowattrel really coming through, except for that Hurricane whiff where I went right into his wind move. But as you can see, Kilowattrel is just a very strong Pokemon, and it's very fun to use in multiple formats. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out this Kilowattrel guide. And yeah, maybe we'll see each other in-game using this Pokemon very soon. So stay safe and peace out.